Hi, this is Hollywood Healthcare, your trusted source of information about celebrities and their health journeys. Remember, our main goal of the channel is not to shame those who we're mentioning, but to make those topics that some people are shy to mention or embarrassed to discuss desacralized. So please, stay tuned, help us in our mission, subscribe and hit that like button. Now let's get it. Celebrities who got sick during sex. 1. Freddie Mercury. Freddie Mercury's admission of his HIV diagnosis on November 23, 1991, sent shockwaves through the music world and beyond. As the charismatic frontman of Queen, he had already secured his place in history as one of the most iconic figures in rock music. His powerful vocals, electrifying stage presence, and unparalleled songwriting had endeared him to millions of fans worldwide. Mercury's announcement came during a time when HIV/AIDS was still widely misunderstood and stigmatized. His decision to publicly acknowledge his illness was a courageous act that shed light on the epidemic and helped to humanize those living with HIV. His openness about his condition also served as a call to action for increased awareness, prevention, and research efforts. Tragically, just one day after revealing his HIV status, Freddie Mercury passed away on November 24, 1991, at the age of 45. His death marked a somber moment in the history of music and remains a poignant reminder of the devastating impact of HIV/AIDS. Freddie Mercury's enduring legacy goes far beyond his diagnosis and untimely death. He continues to be celebrated for his extraordinary contributions to music and his unwavering courage in the face of a formidable health challenge. His music lives on, inspiring generations of artists and fans alike, and his advocacy for HIV awareness has left an indelible mark on the fight against the disease. Freddie Mercury's memory remains an enduring testament to the power of music and the strength of the human spirit. 2. Thomas Neuwirth. Thomas Neuwirth, the Austrian artist known by the stage name Conchita Wurst, made headlines and inspired many with his candid revelation of his HIV-positive status via Instagram in May 2018. Conchita had achieved international fame by winning the Eurovision Song Contest in 2014, captivating audiences with his powerful performances and striking appearance. In his Instagram confession, Thomas Neuwirth shared that he had been living with HIV for many years, but had chosen to keep this personal aspect of his life private. The decision to disclose his status was not taken lightly, as he had concerns about the potential consequences of such a revelation. Tragically, Neuwirth found himself in a situation where someone close to him was threatening to expose his HIV status to the public. In the face of this threat, he boldly declared that he would not allow anyone to intimidate or control his life. This resolve to stand up against fear and prejudice underscored his resilience and determination. Following his disclosure, Thomas Neuwirth pursued a course of treatment to manage his HIV condition. Thanks to medical advancements and his commitment to maintaining his health, he was able to regain his well-being and vitality. His journey serves as a testament to the importance of early diagnosis, treatment, and the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Conchita Wurst's decision to reveal his HIV-positive status contributed to breaking down the stigma surrounding HIV and inspired others to speak openly about their experiences. His message of empowerment and the importance of living life authentically resonated with many, making him not only a talented artist but also an advocate for HIV awareness and destigmatization. 3. Erwin Magic Johnson, an American professional NBA basketball player who played for the Los Angeles Lakers club. In 1996, Johnson was included in the list of the 50 greatest players in the history of the NBA. When passing a medical examination in the 1991 TAR-92 season, it turned out that Johnson had AIDS. On November 7, 1991, he announced that he was retiring from professional sports. On the VOP, the text is taken from the news site In Photos. BigPicture.ru, growing up about how he got infected. At first kept silent, then said that he had had many sexual contacts with different partners throughout his career. He also stated that his wife Cookie and their unborn child at that time were not infected with the virus, and that he would devote his future life to fighting this deadly disease. Then Johnson began taking special anti-AIDS cocktails, combinations of medications that prevent progression. The source of the article is the news magazine In Photos, from which everyone copies the content. BigPicture.ru IE of HIV infection before the terminal stage. In September 2002, doctors stated that Johnson had no symptoms of AIDS. Magic said about this, "Medicine has done its job. I think I did what I could too, and the Lord did the rest." 4. Nadja Benaissa. The German singer, known as a member of the pop group No Angels and the local Factory of Stars, left the group in 2010 after she received 2 years of probation for infecting a sexual partner with HIV. In 1999, Benaissa gave birth to a daughter. During pregnancy, she was diagnosed with HIV. On April 11, 2009, Benaissa was arrested for the fact that, in the period from "If you read this inscription," then someone took this article from BigPicture.ru. From 2004 to 2006, she had several unprotected sexual contacts and did not inform her partners that she had an infection. About the infection of the star, the press writes as follows: "A girl who grew up in a Muslim family in spite of her strict father got into bad company. She started smoking, drinking, and had sex for the first time at the age of 14. If you read this inscription, then someone took this article from bigpicture.ru. She used marijuana, ecstasy, cocaine, and crack, a mixture of cocaine and heroin, without even realizing that it was a heavy drug. At 16, she became pregnant, and then the truth about HIV was revealed." 5. Larry Kramer. Larry Kramer was indeed a remarkable figure known for his fierce advocacy, impactful writings, and unyielding commitment to the rights of the LGBTQ+ community and those affected by HIV/AIDS. A Pulitzer Prize-winning author and playwright, Larry Kramer was a leading voice in the fight for LGBTQ+ rights and HIV/AIDS awareness since the early 1980s. He famously referred to the AIDS epidemic as the plague, drawing attention to the urgency and severity of the crisis. His impassioned words, as quoted, reflected the devastating toll that HIV/AIDS was taking on the community. In 1986, Larry Kramer penned the autobiographical play, The Normal Heart, a searing portrayal of the early years of the HIV/AIDS epidemic in New York City. The play depicted the struggles, discrimination, and government inaction that characterized that era. The Normal Heart played a pivotal role in raising awareness about HIV/AIDS and was a poignant call to action. The film adaptation of The Normal Heart featured Matt Bomer in a leading role, and Bomer's performance earned him a Golden Globe Award. This adaptation further brought the story of the AIDS crisis to a wider audience and highlighted the importance of Kramer's work in preserving the history of that tumultuous time. Larry Kramer's legacy is one of unwavering activism, powerful storytelling, and a tireless dedication to fighting for justice and equality. His impact on LGBTQ+ and HIV/AIDS advocacy continues to be felt today, and he remains an enduring figure in the history of these movements. 6. Greg Louganis. The famous American diver learned about his illness in 1988, and even after that, he was able to win 2 more gold pieces. The source of the article is the news magazine and photos, from which everyone copies the content. Bigpicture.ru, they won medals at the Olympic Games. But he admitted this only in 1995, when he released his autobiography, Breaking the Surface. After this confession, a serious scandal occurred in the States. At one of the OI, the athlete unsuccessfully jumped into the pool and broke his head. At that time, he was still hiding his HIV stat. If you read this inscription, then someone took this article from bigpicture.ru us, which means other Olympians were in danger. Although doctors assured that infection in such a situation is impossible, Louganis apologized several times for what happened on TV. Now Louganis teaches at the acting school, acts in films, plays in the theater. The virus in his blood has dropped to undetectable. A few years later, Louganis married her husband, Johnny Shayo. 7. Charlie Sheen. The Hollywood star who made global headlines in 2015 with his disclosure of being HIV positive is none other than Charlie Sheen. Sheen's announcement was met with widespread attention and sparked discussions about HIV/AIDS awareness and prevention. According to Charlie Sheen, he had received his HIV diagnosis approximately 4 years before going public with the information. His revelation about the diagnosis came as a surprise to many, considering his high-profile career and public persona. In the aftermath of his announcement, Sheen shared that he had advocated for the use of condoms in his sexual encounters and took precautions to protect his partners. However, he acknowledged that there were instances where he neglected to use protection, citing reasons such as being intoxicated or complacent. In the wake of his diagnosis, Sheen made promises to his fans and the public. He expressed his intention to adopt a healthier lifestyle, quit smoking, and even alluded to the possibility of seeking solace in a monastic retreat. However, it became apparent that his journey towards a healthier lifestyle had its ups and downs when paparazzi captured images of him at an airport with a cigarette in his mouth, raising questions about his commitment to these pledges. Charlie Sheen's disclosure of his HIV status brought much-needed attention to the importance of HIV prevention and regular medical care for individuals living with the virus. His story also highlighted the complexities and challenges that can come with living with a high-profile status and a public health condition, shedding light on the broader issues surrounding HIV/AIDS awareness and stigma.